So my story takes place in Madrid, Spain in 2010, and it is the second time in my life that I believe that I saw a full-bodied apparition. I spent a semester abroad in Madrid my senior year of college, and when I initially got there, I didn't have a place to stay, so my parents got me a room in a newly renovated hotel for about a week while I figured out my living situation. First impressions of the room were it was not scary at all. It was practically brand new. When you walked in, there was a TV and a couch. There was next to that a desk with a chair, and then there was a little bar area with a table kind of behind the couch. Directly through the living room was the bedroom, and the bed looked out into the living room when that door was open. To the left of the bed, there was a bathroom, and then in the bedroom itself, there was a TV on like a bureau and a nightstand with a lamp on it. There was also a closet right next to that nightstand. For context, my wife, who at the time was my girlfriend, was also coming over to Madrid, and there was about a 6-hour time difference, so I would often set an alarm for around midnight or just stay up till around midnight, just so when she got off of work, we could have a small conversation before she finished out her night and I went back to bed. Every night I was in that hotel room, I turned off all the lights in the living room, and then I would shut the door to that area. I turn on the TV, and then I would either turn on the lamplight or the bathroom light, depending on if I was going to stay up the entire time to talk to my wife or if I was going to try and get a couple hours of sleep before we had our conversation. Night 1, nothing happens, slept like a baby. Night 2, shut the door, TV's on, lamp light's on. I intended on staying up, I fell asleep. I wake up to my alarm, TV's off, lamp light's off, and the bathroom light's on. Not only that, but I hear the sound of water running. So I go into the bathroom and the faucet is on. Not full blast, but definitely more than a trickle. So I turn that off and honestly just ended up going back to bed thinking that was just a weird thing that happened. Night 3, door shut, TV's on, bathroom lights on. I decide to get a couple hours of sleep. I wake up to my phone alarm and realize that I am in complete darkness. TV's off, bathroom lights off, and most disturbingly, the bedroom door is now wide open. I get up, turn some lights on, do a quick search. The door to the actual room itself is locked, so again, I chalk it up to just a strange thing and went back to bed. Now, the next day, I actually did end up finding a place to live with a roommate who was now one of my good friends and was going to move out of the hotel room in the next couple of days. Night 4, TV's on, bathroom lights on, doors closed, and once again, I fall asleep. I wake up to my alarm, and the first thing I realize is that the door to the bedroom is once again fully open, just exposing me to that dark living room area. I also realize that the TV is now off and the bathroom light is once again off. However, there's still light in the room, and it's coming from the lamp by my bedside. So I turn to the nightstand to grab my phone to turn off my alarm, and as I'm turning, standing next to the bed is a teenage Hispanic girl. She's got dark curly hair with what looks like sticks or twigs in it. It's kind of just all disheveled. She's got beautiful piercing green eyes, and she's smiling at me. Not like a sinister smile, but just like a playful smirk. She's wearing a dirty brown smock or like a one garment cover-up, and in my shock, I didn't really know what to do, so I just started blinking. I think maybe in my mind I thought I was dreaming, even though it wasn't sleep paralysis because I had just moved to grab my phone, but I just started blinking a lot, and every time I blinked, she was still there, still smiling, and for about 5 seconds, we had this weird little standoff, and after right around 5 seconds, I blinked, and she disappeared. Immediately after she vanished, I leapt out of bed, checked under the bed, checked in the closet. I turned on lights. There was no one in that hotel room. Funny enough, I did end up falling back asleep that night, but I did leave the hotel the next day. And despite all the weird things that happened and actually seeing that girl, it never felt evil or malicious. If anything, it felt playful, like she was playing with me in some, I don't know, ghostly way.
So my mind went to what we've been finding out about hotels nowadays, these newly renovated hotels, you know, the trafficking. That's where my mind went. When he first said, I was just like, oh, so somebody's coming in here. There's a secret passage and someone's coming in and doing all this stuff. Don't know which one's better. Well, actually, I do know which one's better, because we don't encourage trafficking. That's not cool. Like, we need to protect our youth, our women, and our men. We need to protect our people. The ghost, though, that's scary. That is scary. Can you imagine waking up and seeing a little girl? Well, I guess not a little girl. A teenage girl smiling? A dirty teenage girl smiling at you? No. She was playing games. She was like, I'm gonna play with this one. They might have renovated, but I'm still here. This is still my place. I would have probably had to do some research. I wouldn't have been there. Like the moment I saw that person, I would have jumped up quickly, and it would have been a fight situation, fight or flight, a fighting. Like I don't care, you a little kid. I don't care if you're gonna get this woman today. Cause why are you here in my room? Like you ain't know you can get got. So yeah, scary friend. I feel like I would want to do, after experiencing that, research on this hotel, because you never think to do research on hotels that you don't already know are haunted or have history. You don't think to do that. I would have definitely wanted to know what happened, why this girl is here, and everything about it. So yeah, be safe even when you're traveling. Might need to do some research on these hotels too.
Hey y'all, so I'm back with another creepy story. I know I've been gone for a while, y'all. I just been enjoying this peace and time to myself. But anyway, so this story is Felicia's story. This story takes place 5 years ago here in Alabama, but she asked me not to give the city out of privacy, so I'm gonna respect her privacy. Okay, so at the time, it was Felicia and her daughter, Haley. Okay, so 3 years prior to that, Felicia's husband has passed away in a car accident. So it was just her and Haley, and they had this routine. They did everything. It was just like clockwork. She said it worked for them. So Felicia said she noticed one day Haley came home from school with this beautiful scarf. She said Haley had this beautiful blue scarf, silk scarf. She said, look expensive. And she said Haley was wearing around her neck. And she was like, where'd she get that from? Because I know she didn't have that when she left here. So she said when she went in Haley's room to ask her where she get the scarf from, she said that her phone rang and it was a family member and they had like some kind of crisis going on. So she forgot all about the scarf. She said she forgot all about it. And days and weeks passed by. She said she didn't think nothing else of it. So, but she said she noticed like around the house that she put the keys down, the keys not there, they end up someplace else. Or it take her days to find a pair of shoes, or she put a cup down, the cup is moved. So she said she noticed little small things, but she didn't think nothing of it. She thought maybe Haley had her stuff, moving stuff. So she said one night, and just one particular night, she had a bedroom door open. And so she said she had this long hallway. And so she said the hallway door was closed. And she said, like, when you come out her room, it was a closet door in the hallway. Then it was Haley bedroom door. Then she said she had like other bedrooms and a bathroom on the left and right. She said, so you pass all the rooms and the bathroom before you get to the hallway door. So she said when she opened her bedroom door, it was dark in the hallway and the hallway door was closed. And she saw like Haley in the corner of the hallway, in the corner of the door, of the hallway door, just in the corner. And she was like, Haley, what are you doing? And Haley didn't say nothing. She's like, Haley, what are you doing? Why are you in the corner like that? And she said, Haley looked back, but she said she couldn't really see the face because it was, like I said, it was dark in the hallway, and she just saw like a pale face. And she's like, what's wrong with you? And she said, girl, answer me. And so Haley opened her bedroom door and stepped out and was like, ma'am, what you say, Mom? I hear you calling my name. And so Felicia looked, and whoever was that in the hallway had disappeared. She was like, oh, hell no. She wasn't trying to figure nothing out. She wasn't trying to wait for no explanation. Felicia told her to go in your room, pack a bag, because we're not staying here for the night. She said that was it for her. She was like, So now, she said both of them ran back in the room. Haley was asking questions. Haley, I'll answer those questions later. Go pack a bag. So she said, make sure we're going to be gone for 2 days. Make sure you pack pajamas, clothes, sleep in, blah, 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 to go out in. So she said Haley ran in her room. She told her hurry. So Felicia went in her room, and she started packing her overnight bag. So she said, she told Haley, let's go. So Felicia said she always kept her keys by the front door. She says, well, she always keep them because she tends to lose them. So she said she knew for a fact she left her keys by the front door. So when she went to go, her and Haley was walking out the door, the keys wasn't there. She was like, Haley, what my keys? Because you've been moving my keys lately. Haley's like, Mama, I ain't touch your keys. She said, I never touch your keys. She said, yes, you have, because my keys been missing. I've been noticing in different places. And Haley said, Mom, I didn't touch your keys. I don't have no reason to touch your keys. So all of a sudden, Felicia said, you just hear like keys jingling. She's like, they got questions. She said she listened, and it sounded like the keys was jingling from the back of the house. She's like, what the hell? So she said, she told Haley, stay out the front door. So she said she went to where the keys was. Sounded like the keys was coming from her bedroom. So she walked into her bedroom real slow, and the closer she gets to her bedroom, the louder the keys are jingling, like jing, 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 the keys was making. So she said she pushed her bedroom door open, and in the middle of the room, she see like this person holding her keys. And she said that the lady had her hair down. She said the lady had her hair down. Her head down. And she was like, excuse me, who are you? And she said when the lady looked up, at first it looked like a young woman, a beautiful young woman. She said, but then it turned to an old lady. The face turned to an old lady, angry old lady, looking mad. And she said, the old lady was about to say something. She said, Felicia said, she screamed, oh my God. And when she said the word God, the keys dropped. And she's like, sweet Jesus, sweet Jesus. So Felicia hurried up and grabbed her keys, and she running back to the front door where Haley was. And Haley was like, what, Mama, what? She was like, oh, what am I going? We got to go. But Felicia said they had a deadbolt. She put a deadbolt on her front door. So now she's trying to get the key, but she's shaking. She's trying to get the key to open up the deadbolt to front door. And she said she hear like scratching, like on the wall, like coming down the hallway. And she said she hear giggling like, man, Felicia said she almost shitted on herself. She said it scared her so bad. She said now Haley hugging her like, Mama, who's that? Who's that, Mama? Because she know nobody's supposed to be in the house but them two. So now she's like, oh my God, oh my God. So she hurry up, and she said she managed to get the key in. And she said as soon as she opened the door, she can see out her peripheral view like somebody stepped from the hallway. Felicia said she ran out that door. She said, baby, she said, I left my bag sitting out on the floor. She said, damn them clothes. She said her and Haley ran to the car. They left the front door wide open. They didn't give a damn who went up in that house. So she said when she got in her car and went to pull off, she looked back because she had to pass her house to get out the neighborhood. She said when she looked back, she saw like this old lady mean just standing there in the doorway scowling at her. And she said the door just slammed. The front door slammed real loud. She was like, oh my God. So she rushed to her friend's house. Named Christina. And she was like, oh my God, oh my God. And so Christina's husband, Doug, was a pastor. And so she was telling Doug, like, oh my God, I think it's an evil spirit in my house. I don't know what's going on. This never happened before. So Doug, he a pastor. He said, well, I'll go and I will, she told him everything. He said, I'll go and bless your house and make sure, get it up out your house. So he asked Christina to go with him. She looked like, cool, I got to stay here with my friend and, support her. I ain't going with you. So he was like, I ain't worrying about it. I can get the deacons to go with me. So she was like, that's what you got to do because I'm not going. So Doug told all three of them to stay put and they'll be back in a couple hours. She was like, okay. Baby Doug came back like somebody whooped his ass. He been drugged through the mud. She said, Felicia said, baby, he had scratches all on his face. She said like something, like how you scrape your knee or something on your elbow on the sidewalk and you get the strawberry bruise. She said, baby, he like somebody was drugged him. Shirt was all ripped up and dirty. She said he was huffing and puffing. She's like, oh my God, what happened? He said, man, I don't know what was in your house. He said, but I think we got it out. He said, did you bring something in that house? He said, because you said it never happened, right? She said, yeah, I ain't bring nothing new in my house. He said, did you bring anything used? She's like, no, I ain't bring nothing in my house. I ain't got money like that. I'm trying to save my money. So she said, she asked Haley, did you bring anything in the house? And Haley was like, no, I ain't bring nothing new. Well, yeah, the scarf my friend gave me. She's like, that scarf, where the hell you get that damn scarf from? And she's like, Haley was like, okay, I'm gonna go to part. Oh, I got another minute, so I'm gonna go to part 2. And she said, my friend, she gave it to me because, you know, Haley loved blue. She loved the color blue. And she said, her and her best friend, Ashley knew Haley loved blue, so she decided she'd give Haley her grandmother's scarf. Now, Ashley's grandmother had passed away, and her grandmother was attached to this scarf. But since Ashley thought, well, you know, they 7, 8 years old. My grandmama did. She don't, what's she gonna do with this scarf? She don't need it no more. So she gave it to her best friend, Haley. So Haley was wearing the scarf, and the guy was like, I don't think you should have brought that in. Now, that lady probably still attached to that damn scarf. So Felicia decided to call Haley mom. So let me go to part 2 and finish the story.
I don't think there's a part 2. But honestly, part 1 was enough. Part 1 was enough. That was so much. She over talking to this M-word. We know what the M-word is. Talking to this. Her daughter comes out, bro. I would have did the same thing. We gotta go. We got to go. It ain't been happening. It's something. Oh, she done brought something in the house, y'all. Brought something in the house. Girl, would have been out of there. When I saw that, whatever that was, that woman holding the keys, I would be like, you could have those keys. You could have them. That's the first time I would have took flight. That's the first time. First time. Because you know me, I'm a fighter all day. But if I seen something change from young to old, oh, nah. Nah, bruh. Nah. In fact, I wouldn't have gone in there without something. Without a bat, without a knife, without something to get those keys. The moment she was like, I got your keys, boo, I would have been like, keep them. Ran out the house. Oh, well, shoot, she couldn't get out the house without the keys. She couldn't get out the house. Me, I would have ran and been like, oh, bitch, I gotta go get the keys. I gotta go get the dang keys. I would have had to figure it out, bruh. You know those moments when you have, it is a bug or something, you gotta muster up the courage. She'd be like, hey, hype yourself up. Hey, that would have been me like, okay, I got it. Just being the adult in that situation, being the mom, bro, protecting your kid. Oh my goodness, she was a good one. But the moment she got out, she was like, I ain't going back. You can go get the deacons, get the mothers of the church, get whoever you need, the usher board, get everybody, because I'm not going out there. Like, I'm not going back, honey. Nah. He was fighting. That old lady was like, this is my house, my stuff here, so this is my house. Nah, honey. They were a brave one. But go follow her, go see part 2, go follow all these creators. They got good stories. Some good ones, y'all. Some good ones. I'm over here freaking out. I gotta go use the bathroom. I'm a little nervous.
Okay, y'all, so this is Felicia part 2 creepy story. Sorry for keeping y'all so long. I had to go run some errands, and it took longer than what I expected. Okay, so where I left off was Doug was asking. He came back to his home, and he was asking Felicia about that scarf. But what I forgot to tell y'all, what happened to Doug and the deacons when they went to Felicia's house. Doug said, when him and the deacons, there was 2 deacons went with him. When they went into Felicia's house, they opened the door and they kind of jumped back because what they saw was an old lady just sitting on her couch with like her head down, like she was expecting them, like she was waiting on them. So Doug said she had this pretty blue scarf around her neck, and she was just sitting there. And he was like, excuse me, ma'am, I think you in the wrong apartment. I don't think you're supposed to be here. He said, when he said that, he said she jerked her head up so fast and looked at them. And he said it scared him because she moved so fast. He said she jumped up and just took off running to the back of the house. And he said that, damn, somebody broke in here. And the deacon said, one of the deacons said, I don't think that was a woman. I think that's some kind of entity because it was moving too fast to be an old woman. So Doug thought about it. He was like, you're right. So him and the other 2 deacons, they was like, we ready. They was up for the challenge. So they went back to the back of her house, and they just looking. And they found her in Felicia's room. And so he said when they went in the room, it's like she stood in the middle of the floor waiting on him. She stood like in the middle of the room. And he was like, they start saying prayers and stuff, and he said before he knew it, this thing was running all over that room. He said, man, this entity was running up the walls. It was running across the room like shoo, shoo, shoo. He said, scared them. They was like, what the hell? He said, and this thing started hitting that. Passed by them, started slapping them, scratching them, and they was like, oh my God. So they said, well, you know what? We got to pull out the holy water. We got to pull out the anointed oil. We got to start saying these scriptures and prayers. So that's what they did. And every time they say something, she'd come hit them in their face. She didn't want to hear nothing they had to say. But they kept going on and on, getting stronger and stronger. And he said they start opening up doors and windows, while they still saying they going to open up doors and windows. And when they open up the doors, he said he noticed this entity was getting weak. And he said they kept on saying prayers. They kept putting oil and the holy water all over the door frames and all this stuff, right? And so he said he noticed when they opened up the doors and windows, like the scarf was floating in the house, floating in the air. He said eventually it flew out the door. And he was like, he was going to get it, but he's like, it's a gust of wind came out of nowhere. He said, and this scarf just went flying out the house. And he was like, the scarf was the last thing he was worried about. He was worried about getting that entity up out of there. So he said they felt like the presence in the house like just lifted. It was like the air wasn't heavy no more. So he said they kept going around eventually, because they was in that thing for 2 hours in her house trying to fight this thing, getting up out of there. And she was getting them a whooping. So he said after 2 hours and they opened up the doors and stuff, the scarf flew out the house. And he said, the air was lighter. So they figured, once they did that, it left. So when he was telling Felicia, did y'all bring anything? That's when she thought about the scarf. And Haley's like, yeah, Ashley gave it to me, her best friend. And so Felicia said, let me call Ashley's mom and talk to her. So she called Ashley's mom and she was like, hey, this is, hey girl, this Felicia, Haley mom. And she was like, hey, how you doing? She's, I'm not doing too good. My mom passed away a couple of weeks ago and I'm still having a time dealing with her death. And she's like, I am so sorry. She said, but I think I had something that belongs to your mom. She's like, what you mean? She said, it was like a blue silk scarf and the mom's like, and she described it. She said, did it have like embroidered flowers on it? And it's like the periwinkle blue or something. She's like, yeah. She said, oh my God, that was my mom's favorite scarf. Her mom gave it to her. She's like an heirloom. She said, that's the only thing she had left of her mom. She said, can you please give it back? She said, well, hold on, how did you get it? She said, well, your daughter gave it to my daughter. And so she started fussing at Ash, like, why in the world? And she's like, well, grandma dead. What's she going to do with it? So, she, got on her about that. And so she was asking Felicia, well, can I come over and get my mom's scarf? And so Felicia's like, I'm no longer in possession of it. She's like, what do you mean? She said, when I opened up the door, she didn't want to tell her what was going on. Like, your mama came over here whooping everybody's ass and scaring us half to death. She didn't want to tell her that. So she just said, look, when I opened up the door, the scarf was so light, it just flew out my house. So now the mom's like, why are you lying? Give me my mama's scarf. And so she's telling her, I don't have the scarf. So now both of them going back and forth. So she's on pressing charges because you stole my mom's scarf. She said, technically, your daughter gave it to my daughter. So we ain't steal anything. It was a gift. And she's like, just give me my mama's scarf. And she was trying to tell her, I don't have it. So now they going back and forth. And Felicia's like, you know what? I'm so sorry. If I had it, I would give it to you, but I don't have it. And she said, but me and Haley, we'll go outside in the morning and see, can we find it, up the street? Or she said, but it flew out the house. And so the mom didn't believe her. She's like, oh, you stole my mom's stuff. You just want to keep my mom's stuff. And she was like, all right. So she left it alone. She hung up with it, and the woman still talking about pressing charges. And so a few days later, she get a call from Ashley's mom. She was like, oh my God. She was like, I'm not up for this today. So she answered the phone anyway. And so the mom was so happy. She said, thank you so much. Thank you so much. She was like, thank you for what? What did I do? She said, I went to visit my mom grave site, and she said, and I found because they didn't get the headstone yet, because you got to let the grass get hard and stuff, the ground get hard. She said, but I went to go visit my mom, grave site, and I found the scarf, because they had like a little plaque with her mom's name, the little stick, whatever. She said, and it was wrapped around the little stick. And she said, thank you. And Felicia said, I didn't put nothing on your mom's grave, because for one, I don't know where your mom's buried at. And she's like, I know you didn't want to tell me because I acted a fool and then you was afraid I'm going to call the police, but still, thank you. And she telling you I didn't have the scarf. So she was like, oh, okay, well, anyway. But I thank you. She said, now I'm going to keep it and so I can pass it on to my daughter. She said, I told Ashley she better not get nothing else away. If she happened to give Haley anything, let me know. And Felicia was like, okay, you don't got to worry about that because she ain't giving her nothing else. But so the lady was happy. Felicia hung up and she was like, girl, I don't know how in the hell that scarf ended up on her mom's gravesite, but that shit wasn't me. She said, I ain't had nothing to do with that. So that was still a mystery. She said, I don't want to think about it no more. She said, that was crazy. So yeah, so that's the end of Felicia's part 2 creepy story. So I hope you guys like it. And so somebody reached out to me and I'm going to tell her story. She gave me a bunch of stories. So I got to try to figure out because they happen in all different types of decades. So I'm going to get her story ready and I'm going to let you guys know. All right, then. Talk to you later, guys.
Girl, that part too. I tell you right now, it's power in the name of Jesus, in the name of God. Because, honey, she had to get up out of there. Honey, I will just tell you right now, my deacons, our deacons at my church, in my home church, oh no, they wouldn't have been there. They wouldn't have been there. We ain't gonna call on those deacons, honey. We called on the mothers of the church because I feel like our deacons would have been nervous. It would have been scared, would have been like, even though we fought in wars, I don't know about this, but I don't know. Would have definitely called on the mothers of the church because I've seen the mothers of the church cast out demons. I've actually witnessed it with my own eyes, honey. So yeah, would have called on the mothers of the church because I know they wasn't about to get slapped. They would have slapped back. They would have been fighting like, honey, these people getting hit. These guys getting hit, honey. Just she running around because it's like my first time was you see this old woman sitting in somebody's house that. And then see this old woman run, bro. An old woman. Have you ever seen an old woman run? Have you? Like, honestly. Oh, wait. No, I have. I just did on YouTube. I did. She was training for a marathon. Never mind. I've seen some old women do some things. But, honey, like, logically in your mind, that moment, it'd be like, oh, no. What is this? This is not it. This is not it. Girl, them niggas was ready. My niggas would not have been. They'd be like, we gonna come back. With other people. With our wives. And they friends, we'll be back. That was wow, bro. That was too much. It was too much. And then Ashley mama being like, oh, you just want my stuff. Girl, I want your little funky scarf. What am I gonna do with that scarf? I'm not even well, yes I am. It's about to be scarf weather. So yeah, Fred, I would have had to fight her. Because I'd be like, call the law. Tell them come over here. Tell them. They should have been over here when everything was going on. Like, girl, I know who put that scarf there. That mom was just like, you done took my scarf. I had to come get my scarf because this is my scarf. It meant something special to her. And she took it back to the grave. That was just too much. I'm glad that was a part 2. Go follow these creators. She got more. She got another story. I'm excited about it. Subscribe.